something a bit different for the next bit of the show. We're joined by Anthony and Steve from Total Play. Great to have you on. First question, what is Total Play?
You're the guru, Anthony. You go ahead.
I wouldn't say that. The guru's not here, is he? But yeah, Total Play, sports surfacing specialists. We specialise in cricket, cricket surfacing, cricket nets, and facilitating cricket with non-turf surfaces. I'm Anthony. I'm responsible for the northern business. So the company's based in Northampton, quite close to the M1. So we're servicing the country up and down. I'm responsible for anything north of Northampton, and Steve, my colleague, who's here as well, is responsible for everything Northampton and south of Northampton. So we're the two business development managers for the company, front facing out there in the field, helping with clients taking these projects from concept through design to construction through to maintenance and aftercare.
Total Play's been around for a while now. What's the journey been like over the years?
Yeah, good. We're progressive. We're always sort of pushing forward and looking for new ways of doing things, better ways of doing things, more efficient ways of doing things. The company was originally set up, almost 20 years ago by our MD, David Bates, he's been on the podcast before. He's got, a very in-depth background in cricket. Both Steve and I have backgrounds in cricket. It's progressive. These non-turf surfaces and the way things have been done in the industry are being done now much like they have for many, many, many years. So we're trying to push things forward.
You mentioned that you both have backgrounds in the game. What are your backgrounds in the game, and how does that inform what you guys do at Total Play?
Yeah, I'll go for it. I mean, I'm not anywhere near playing level and anywhere near Anthony's level. I'm, a very passionate clubby. My sort of educational background, a degree in sport media and culture, and then outside of that, from the cricket aspect, I've been involved for well over 20 years as a player, coach, umpire, various different sort of roles on committees, from sort of club welfare officer, captain of one of our teams at the moment. When you're talking to cricket people about these projects, you've got to have an understanding of the game. And I think hopefully, a lot of the time when we're out there, I can't speak for Anthony, but for myself, I like to think that passion shines through when we're talking to people. I've been with the company probably about 18 months now, and people keep asking me, it must be the ideal job for you, and absolutely spot on. It's my normal sort of turn of phrase is that I go around the south of the country, going to cricket grounds, talk to cricket people about cricket. You couldn't get a better sort of job for somebody who's so sort of passionate about the game.
Anthony, what's your background?
Steve's absolutely right. I think what he's trying to say is we are cricket badgers, and it's who we are. I've been a long time retired from playing cricket, but I've been with the company 11 years now, and doing exactly what Steve explained. Forward facing, talking to these great cricket people and clubs who are generally across the board great people. And when you've got that cricket background yourself, I think it's really, really helpful to get across what's needed. I think we're best placed to offer, the best advice. It's coming from the best place. I'm a long time retired from the game, but I did have a taste of a little bit of county cricket up here in my home county, Yorkshire, at the turn of the century. I suppose you'd have to say now, it's been a long time ago. I think coming from a cricket background, when I was playing my best cricket, was very performance orientated. I can see what a cricketer needs from a surface and from a facility to best enable the best conditions for practice. That's what I'm passionate about doing now.
It's more than a decent standard. The Yorkshire team at the turn of the century was a pretty decent outfit.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I felt privileged at the time to be able to be amongst those guys. I was a seam bowler And I probably got my opportunity because so many of the Yorkshire lads were playing for the England team.
I'm a club cricketer as well, and my club might be in the market for getting some new nets in soon. If you're talking to a cricket club, what would you say is important when starting that process? Like, what are the sort of things that a cricket club should be considering, etc.?
From my point of view, it's quality, longevity. We do everything in house, so we're there to really help a client from start to finish in every way, and something that's going to perform. And whether we're working for the grassroots aspect of the game or the professional aspect of the game, we are putting these things in the same way, building things to the same standard, with the same techniques and understanding and detail. I've worked with clubs up in this region, up in Yorkshire, who I have really deep connected ties with, and I'm grateful that some of those clubs have come and asked me about this, and I'm seeing them now using the facilities that we put in for them, and it's fantastic to see how it can really affect a club in a really positive way.
Sorry, Yaz, I was just going to add off the back of that. Obviously, we come into the grounds and the clubs with a fresh set of eyes. Ultimately, the committee and the players and whatever at the club locally will know the ground better than we do. But sometimes you sort of have to take stock of what you've currently got, whether that's an old sort of dilapidated facility, be it a net block or a match pitch or whatever, and think, is it meeting our needs? Do we need more capacity, i.e. more net lanes, or like a longer non-turf pitch, for example? But then also think about all the other surrounding things like the positioning of it on the ground and that sort of thing. So obviously it's a bit of a mindset shift in cricket sometimes, is that it's always been there. It might be over the far side of the ground. You turn up on a drizzly sort of Tuesday evening and it's a bit grey and overcast, and people get to the car park and think, I can't be bothered to go over there. Where if the net facility is a bit closer to the car park, you're straight out the car, the kit's on your shoulder and you're straight in the nets, and you haven't really got an excuse then. So it's all about these sort of little local factors as well. Obviously we can impart that knowledge of the actual product itself, but how it fits into the ground sometimes is something else to consider.
How's the technology changing with non-turf solutions? How would nets change and look different now compared to, say, 20, 25 years ago?
We are digging up some of these older facilities now and replacing them. It's clear that some of them haven't lasted as long as they should have, and that's the most disappointing thing about some parts of the industry, that things could be done better. The materials that are used, the approach to the construction, the method of construction, and with it, the warranties and expectations on performance longer term, things can be done better. So we've taken a lot of these points and we've acted on it. We're doing things better. The way the base is constructed, the qualities and depths of aggregates and geogrids and geomembranes and shock pads and carpets, it's all been pushed forward to provide a system or a facility that's going to perform over the longer period. And beyond that, beyond what's in the ground and what can affect performance, it's also about what's above the ground. The quality and the dimensions of the steelwork and the netting, the ball stop structure to make it safe, how that netting is hung, and with it, how long it's expected to last. So really, it's about offering something that's going to be in the ground, performing a lot longer with better materials for a better overall expectation on performance.
As an avid netter myself, the quality of the net makes me want to net more or less, if that makes sense. Like if the nets are solid externally from a structural point of view, and it's safer, you're more likely to want a net. But also if the surface is I suppose like trustworthy, like if it's a good surface, you're going to get so much more out of it. Like you don't really want to go and have a bat on a surface you don't really trust.
If you're practicing wrong, you're not going to be able to do it when you go out in the middle.
Exactly.
I think just tagging on for what Anthony's just said there as well is that, you know, one of our sort of key points is that we're putting these systems in to last. And so in a few years' time, you know, 10, 12, 15 years' time, you might need a new carpet on the top surface because it might be a bit tired, but we're not digging the whole thing out and starting again. You know, it's very similar to a well-built house. If you look after it well, it will look after you.
And then finally, it's not only non-turf solutions that Total Play specialise in. What exactly is in your cricket ground shop?
You've got all the peripheral ground equipment that a club needs in terms of flat sheet covers, mobile pitch covers, these systems to keep pitches dry to enable games to be played, batting cages. So, a lot of peripheral ground equipment. And we're sourcing this equipment and offering it out there as part of the overall offering from Total Play.
And how does it work practically? If I wanted to get a batting cage for my club, how can I expect that to? What's the sort of time frame on that arriving, and how does something physically so big actually arrive?
Well, there's a couple of different ways of doing it. Either it can be palleted up and can be sent through to the club for them to self-install, or it can be done with installation. So, yeah, there's different options and so many different options on the products out there. Something to suit everybody and every client really. So yeah, just get in touch. It's not just the non-turf side of it and the facilities that we're dealing with. It's cricket ground products as well.
Yeah, loads of stuff that clubs can be interested in for sure. We'll leave a link to your website in the show notes if anyone's interested. I'm sure I'll be bringing you guys up at my club's next committee meeting. Anthony and Steve, thank you so much for your time. Great to have you and great to hear what you guys are all about.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.